Hello and welcome to the stream and to number 34 of the Digital Homicides Streamcast thingy. Okay, with me as always is Lothar. Let me unmute this here. Hi Lothar.
Hi Triton, hi everyone.
And today... Wait, why am I... Oh wait, that's the wrong scene. That's the right scene.
You're right.
Ha! There we go. Yeah. I don't have that scene in my stream deck, so. Okay, today we are doing that video reaction. And we do that first, it's about digital homicide. And second,
It's about digital homicides.
Exactly, that's where it turns into. With an accusation that is not really good or intelligent to do. So, yeah, I guess, buckle up, that video is kinda...
And before we start, Triton, drop this video to 0, so we could be at least some kind of in sync with this video.
Alright.
Second, it's going to be so freaking high octane that I'm encourage whoever going to watch this, get the pillow and not snore too much.
Yeah, or get something to drink.
Yeah, preferably something with high caffeine.
Yeah, or... Okay, or a lot of alcohol. Okay.
Basically, let's start the drinking game. Drink when you think that this guy is annoying.
Yeah, every time he says digital homicide, you have to drink.
I actually don't remember how much he said that thing. I
Well,
watched this text right up on your face.
ah! Yeah, let me...
I watched this video way back. Basically, I learned about its existence like a little bit more than half a years ago, and right now I basically don't remember anything about this video. So for me, it's almost like a first-time reaction.
I
What
don't...
about you?
I don't know if you hear the stream. I have new audio samples, and one of it is...
Yeah, I can't hear the stream.
Wait,
Oh
wait.
yeah, I can see the text. I get what how it sounds like.
Ah, shit. Yeah, that's not... That's... Yeah, that didn't play because it's not in my... It's not in the scene here. Okay, never mind. Emotional damage
Nice.
would have been it. Okay, anyway, I guess we are gonna get ready to start with that.
Let's start with something positive. Like as I told you, physical copies of Babylon's Fall
Psh,
were
psh, psh,
told to
psh,
be
psh.
destroyed.
I have to
Let's
buy...
start
I have to
with
buy them
something
all.
positive.
Yeah, that's kind of... That's... I mean, how many publishers really do that? I mean, the last
Well,
game...
we got ET.
Yeah, that's the one game where I know that the developer and the publisher said, yeah, no, let's just dump that shit. And they got it out a few years ago, and they're really worth a lot. So...
Yeah. Well, enough with positive. Let's go back to TDS.
All right. So, are you ready, Lothar?
Yeah, I'm ready. Do I have sound here? Yes, I have sound.
Okay, then on 3, 2, 1, go.
No, the lawsuit was frivolous, spurious, bullshit. Oh, I beg to differ, Jim effing Sterling's son. I beg to differ.
Already a great start.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the opening
Digital
intro.
homicide. For many people, the name just invokes images of overly proud game developers throwing tantrums because people are giving their games bad reviews, being
Can you pause
unable to
here?
accept criticism, and their failure to take criticism ultimately resulting in the destruction of their own careers
Yeah,
after
that's what
Valve
we
was
talked
forced to
about
ban them from
one
Steam.
person poses.
I would be lying if I said I didn't feel the same way for quite some time. Mostly because Jim Sterling's was the only side of the story I was ever exposed
It's
to.
kinda
However,
weird to have
you know what happens when
him
you
talk
hear a
and you.
story many times?
Yeah, I'll
You start
just
to notice
do like
cracks
this
in the
when I want
story.
to pause.
And when you look at those cracks a little more closely, they start
Okay.
to sound like glaring plot holes. The more you think about those glaring plot holes, the more they interfere with your ability to
basically.
enjoy what you.
Yeah.
I have something to tell, basically. I like how he started with this whole dramatization, like, boo-hoo, we have a lot of crybabies who cried about uh, digital homicide having a tantrum and whatnot.
Yeah, for bad reviews and stuff, and
Yeah, basically, he said it like we cried about it, and not like digital homicide cried about it.
now first it sounds like yeah, bad game, bad development stuff, and then yeah, but just because of the reviews. Wait a second. No.
Yeah, we actually used to interact with those guys on Greenlight and whatnot.
Yeah.
At least one of those guys used to get into our group several times.
Yeah, we had personal interaction with those freak brothers, I mean.
Oh, at least be more respectful, Mr. Freak.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Mr. Freak. Okay, continue.
Tell me time where you stopped.
126.
126. Yeah, okay, continue.
All right, play.
Used to be very enjoyable stories. That is how I have come to see Jim Sterling's beef with Digital Homicide. What's up, guys? Acerthorn here, and welcome to another video game industry discussion video. I do these types of videos on a regular basis, so if you'd like to see more of them, hit that subscribe button to stay notified.
Don't subscribe.
Before I begin the discussion proper, allow me to introduce myself. I consider myself very thorough in my analysis. I do my level best to leave no stone unturned before I publish my theories. So far, I seem to have a pretty good track record of convincing people of my points, at least those who are willing to approach the various topics.
Yeah,
with a
convincing
fair
somebody
mind.
of your points
Here
doesn't
are
make
just a
them
few
true,
comments people
alright?
have left on my videos
Just
Yeah.
saying.
praise my ability to convince them to change their
Also,
tunes on various
possibly.
topics. Just to give you a
Huh.
Uh, I'm going. You know, by a person who watched this video and absolutely who doesn't remember this video, I do remember that his points used to be bullshit. So when he's saying that he's person who researching his topics and whatnot,
Yeah.
well, maybe he is. But we have our groups. We have our group when we have all those things what we used to do.
The funny
And
the funny thing is that typical religious stuff, I believe it and I can convince others to believe it, so that makes it true.
yeah, basically in a way. But I can say that he's not really convincing. Like, not at all.
Nah, not too much. No. Not really.
Timestamp?
2:22.
Oh, I didn't like that much behind. Okay, continue.
Yo, go.
Taste
Uh-huh.
of what this video will hopefully have in store for you. That being said, I absolutely do not expect to convince Jim Sterling himself of my position today in the 1 in a million chance he actually
Don't
sees this
convince
video in the
don't
first
convince
place.
Jim,
His
convince
personal
us!
hatred of and vendetta against Digital Homicide and the Remind brothers runs so deep.
I'm not sure if
it
Jim
is,
actually
in
saw
all
that video even.
likelihood, completely beyond any and all
I don't think
reason
so.
when it comes to this
Even
topic.
if
However, I hope to
Sterling
show at least
saw
a
this
few of you
video,
guys
I
that maybe
think
Sterling
he was
overreacting just a touch.
the same way
And
as
maybe
I'm
we
about
ought to
this
give the
video.
Remind brothers
Not
a second
worth
chance.
watching at all.
Hell, for those
or
of you
reacting.
who judged the Remind brothers sight unseen based on the stuff you've heard about them, hopefully you can be convinced them to give them a first chance. I also want to fully disclose the extent of my personal knowledge of the Jim Sterling Digital Homicide rivalry.
Triton,
Specifically, I have no personal knowledge
will you give them
whatsoever.
another
As
chance
mentioned in my video,
of,
5
out of
reasons
how
why
much you
Jim
gave
Sterling
them?
is a filthy hypocrite, I subscribed to Sterling after
What's
seeing his
streaming their
video,
bullshit
The
games?
Addictive Cost of
Yeah.
Predatory Video Game
Ooh.
Monetization. This means that I became a Jim Sterling fan
The last time I did it
years
for
before
a charity event.
Digital Homicide had concluded. I did not follow the Digital Homicide feud,
But we
while it
reached,
was ongoing. I only heard
we
about
reached
it
an
after
8 or
the
9,000 or
fact.
so,
Now,
and
you
that's
might think that this means
when I had to do it.
possibly understand the true scope of the problem, that I can't possibly know what
Oh,
really
yeah.
happened because I wasn't there. However, I respectfully disagree with that argument. I believe my lack of personal involvement in the dispute makes me uniquely qualified to assess what really happened. Think about it this way. You know how, if you are a witness to a crime, if you know the defendant personally, or hell, if you even so much as write about the crime in the paper, you're not supposed to be allowed to serve on the jury in that case? Well, think for a minute about the reason why that law exists, and you can start to realize how I am in a much better position to judge what really happened than, say, Jim Sterling himself. As the old adage goes, nobody should be allowed to be the judge of his own case. In addition, while I am not one anymore, I
God,
should
what
point
a
out that I
stupid
used to
game.
work as a freelance paralegal. Despite not having a law degree, I
It
have
is a
extensive
stupid
experience
game.
and therefore extensive understanding in dealing
Funny
with the
thing
court
is that
system and in
you're
researching
paying
the
attention
law.
to the game more
This
than to
experience
our
and legal
great
knowledge
narrator.
will certainly come
Yeah,
in
true.
when I get to the portions of this video which discuss the lawsuits Digital Homicide had filed against Sterling and the anonymous Steam users. Last but not least, I should probably disclose that before making this video,
Well, I don't believe
attempted
that
to reach
Jim
out to Digital
Sterling is his
Homicide
real name,
themselves
so
and try to
talking
get
about
their side of the
anonymous.
story. This video was originally going to be called Digital
yeah.
Homicide's Side of the
Besides,
Story.
we can
However,
remember that
several weeks went by and Digital
Jim
Homicide did not
showed
respond
his
to my request for an
lawsuit
interview.
documents.
Now, there are an infinite number of reasons why they may not
Yeah,
have
true.
responded, so I will not judge them for that. However, I do feel it is worth pointing out that I am basing today's videos on
It's
admittedly
definitely Sterling now.
incomplete information. Every point I will argue in today's video is based on what observations I was able to cobble together, not what anyone else has told me. Just throwing that out there. Alright, now that all the disclosures are out of the way, let's begin the video proper.
Let's begin the
I
video
suppose the best
at
place
6
to
minutes.
start is
Yeah.
where it all began.
Great.
That's how beginnings work,
Oh.
right?
What
Well,
we did
this all started
before
in
that?
late 2014.
Watched fucking
Jim
air.
Sterling was just beginning his
Dum,
career as an
dum,
independent
dum,
video
dum,
game
dum,
pundit,
dum,
wrapping up
dum,
a business
dum,
he had
dum,
with
dum.
Escapist, and getting ready to
Oh,
go
sorry.
full-time on YouTube, funded entirely through Patreon, a position he continues to hold to this day. One of the earliest videos he published as an independent pundit and critic was The Slaughtering Grounds, a new Worst Game of 2014 contender. Digital Homicide saw that video and proceeded to make a
Yeah,
response
that's
video
the
called
first video I
Review
watched
the
he
Reviewer.
published
His
solo.
professionalism
That
and
basically
candor
also
in
was the
this
first
response
video I
video
started
is,
to watch from him.
lacking to say the least. Now this.
Yeah, I
This
think it
is the
was one of
point
the
where
first
so many on Team
for
Sterling
me as well, I
believe
think.
that Digital Homicide committed its first and most grave error in all of this. Their inability to accept criticism effectively laid the foundation for their subsequent downfall over the next couple of years. However, while I admit that Digital Homicide could have handled this response video with a bit more forethought.
Yeah.
In other words, what Digital Homicide did was completely justifiable, professional, and anything in that matter.
Yeah, and don't negatively talk about them because, well, ooh.
More people saw Jim's video, Jim's reaction to Digital Homicide's video than Digital Homicide video, than Digital Homicide video itself. I'm pretty sure of it. Besides, if Digital Homicide were in the wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they deleted this video.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It's a bit foggy.
So,
And this video is what, like a year old or so?
yes.
It's not like it came out when all that shit happened. It came out years afterwards, basically.
Yeah, basically
Oh,
after dust has settled, and not only that, but also people who were involved in different projects and stuff.
I think I need a Valium or so. All right.
And talking about specifically us, we used to do that thing by that point.
Yeah, when he starts talking about us, it's the whole video is kinda facepalm,
Well, we
but
have something like half a video to endure to get to us specifically. Uh, okay, but does he really believe that what Digital Homicide does was really professional and whatnot?
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, from whatever point you look at it, nothing about Digital Homicide was ever professional. Not their behavior, not their games, the type of games, the amount of games released, and uh, yeah, effort. Maybe at one point they thought, yeah, we can do this. Come on, we take an engine. It's not that hard. Let's put a few assets in there and make a game out of it. But
And then people start calling out stolen assets and whatnot.
yeah, and but they have thousands of lines of codes of codes they produced over the years, and they're master coders.
Yeah,
John Carmack
as well.
knows shit about coding compared to the Romines. The masterminds.
I never learned anything about programming. But that one, what?
Oh, I did
What? Oh yeah,
learn a bit, but
but I read a lot of history books.
mhm.
Not just knowledge pop, science pop books, but also uh, actual scientific works. That doesn't make me a professional historian.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Just because you
okay,
know something about something doesn't make you a pro in that field. That's right.
yeah, and I'm not specifying in any, not interested in any specific period of history. Uh, Yeah, okay, I'm interested in one specific period of history, but I trying to read more stuff, Russian related, but still.
Yeah, yeah, you're not just well. It's the same for me. I'm interested in shit ton of stuff way too much anyway.
At least when I going to say stuff like, well, somebody would tell me, well, that used to be like bad shit. Bad back then. I'm going to be, excuse me, but that person wrote something like this, and he have s- a good book for everyday Joe, and he have a scientific works with the same theme.
Mm.
So yeah, I think he can tell you a little bit more than this particular person who not even a historian but a priest.
Yeah, that's so funny that with all those new age scientists from Facebook and Twitter and all the morons following that, those drinking bleach and shit like that because some idiot,
You mean young earthers?
yeah, flat earthers and
Ah,
anti-vaxxers and
okay.
all those.
Oh, you mean all of those?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, they don't listen to the actual doctor, professor, I don't know what. No, they listen to some, I don't know, voodoo guy on Facebook or something because that guy says,
Yeah.
"Oh, but it's so," and God told me, and oh, for fuck's sake.
God damn it, we actually having some fun talking about stuff.
I saw
We should continue with the video.
I saw a video of a guy who had an accident and is bound to a wheelchair now and lives in
Mhm.
pain the whole day basically. And then I saw a video like, yeah, and it's God's way to test him and blah, and I was like, holy shit, are you serious now?
Yeah, it's like Dark Matter made a video like I don't remember when 7 or 8 years ago when something happening. The answer always is because God did it, and because it was done by God. God is good. Everything that was done is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Definitely not for that video conversation.
Nah. All right, I'm at 7:48.
Yeah, okay. Continue.
All right, go.
Thought. I'm not going to ignore Sterling's contribution to this problem completely. Sterling's attitude towards the slaughtering grounds was harsh.
And what
extremely
attitude
harsh.
can
In
have
fact,
this
it appears,
video?
at least from my point of view, that
I mean,
Sterling
with
was
the
going
game.
out of his way to be
I'm
as
sorry
harsh on
about
the
the
game
game.
as he possibly could.
Yeah, why was it Jim
Here
harsh?
are
I don't know,
a
because it's
few
shit.
clips of the things Sterling said about this game.
You gotta do these challenges. How can I do these challenges when you don't give me any fucking ammunition? I mean, this shit is beyond the pale. Like, there's no artistic theme.
Damn, Jim! Do you think you could rein in the hate just a touch? Bear in mind that this was before.
Oh my god, that
DigiHom
looks like an
did
asset
all
from
the
a game that just was
supposedly
removed from
terrible
Steam.
things that earned them the dubious legacy they currently have. They didn't
Fuck me.
start out with this reputation of being these tantrum-throwing man-children, if that reputation is even justified in the first place.
Yes,
See the
it
rest of
is.
this video for
I
details.
knew I saw that before.
It honestly seems like you were going out of your way to actively provoke Digital Homicide into giving this sort of response. You have to understand that the reviewer response video, is the most unprofessional that Digital Homicide ever acted in the entire time any dealings with Jim Sterling.
Really?
And all he was doing
Really?
was retorting against the line crossing
They were
attacks
pissing all over the
Sterling
place
leveled
every single
against
fucking
them
time.
entirely unprovoked.
Yeah.
Now,
And
I
they
know
pissed
what
on
many,
us as
if
well.
not most, of you are thinking right now.
Specifically on
Well, game
Brando.
developers need to learn to accept criticism as a matter of
Right.
course. Quite
John-
frankly, I find
John
that
used to be
argument to be
owner
some
of the
hot
group.
bullshit. As a YouTube content creator
Yeah,
myself, I have been on the receiving end of quite a few of these kinds of toxic, egregious, venomous, line-crossing personal attacks. I have been called scum, I have been called garbage, I have been told to suck dicks, I have had people create throwaway accounts just so they can cuss me out without their main accounts getting banned. So, I honestly know how Digital Homicide feels when he has to listen to people like Sterling make personal attacks against the developers.
Pause.
He talks about Digital Homicide as it would be one person.
Yes, and I think I just catched the idea why he made this video in defense of Digital Homicide. He specifically did it because he can sympathize with them. They knew that they were making garbage, specifically cheap garbage. I think he might be the same way. He knows that his content not that good, and basically he don't like people calling him out on that. And instead of making his content better, like we can talk about quality of content, but still, instead of making his content better or tone down his attitude, he basically put constant offense.
Yeah, he
Specifically like Digital Homicide.
and he also goes for DMCA strikes, trying to sue other creators who use his videos. So, hi Esoton. Yeah, so he's the same like the Romines basically. He really has a hard time taking in criticism.
Yes, and he doesn't like when people criticize him. Yes, okay, people can be harsh, but at least try to find constructive criticism and not demand constructive criticism.
Mm.
Even most angry posts have at least something to say that they don't like. Well, if it's not like fuck you and something like that.
Mm.
People usually saying what they don't like.
Yeah, some do.
Yeah, okay, some.
All right, 10:27.
Yeah, okay, I'm here as well.
All right, play.
Rather than just critiquing the game, many people seem to see game developers, YouTube channel owners, and many other types of creators, especially independent creators, as essentially free shots. Normal people are free to unleash their own personal hang-ups on the creators, throwing every insult under the sun
Only
at
if
them,
they
calling them
if
every
they found
vulgar
you
word they
and
can
they
think
didn't
of,
like what you
and
told
if the
them.
creator
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if a game is shit, people will tell you. It's not like, oh yeah, they made something. Oh, they're good.
Shit. Do you work with customers as part of your day
Yes,
job?
I worked
You
with
probably
customers
deal
as
with a lot
part of my
shit
day job.
from those
So
shithead
fuck you, I
customers.
can tell you
Even
that.
if you don't work with your customers at your day job, you most certainly have to answer to at least one person, namely your boss, who can be a complete dickhead at times. If a customer at your job leveled insults at you even half as egregious as these comments, that customer would be banned from your store's premises and
Never.
be told never to return in a fucking heartbeat. Face
Usually
fucking
one who
facts.
gets penalized,
We are
the
all
person
people. We
who
all
got
have
swear
feelings,
that, and
none
not
of
the
us
customer.
fucking
It depends.
none
So this
of
guy has
us
no idea what
deserve
he's talking
that
about.
kind
It
of
depends,
verbal
I mean,
abuse. And
If a customer
no,
behaves like shit,
being
yeah, they
an
get a
independent
store ban,
content
but
creator or game
Specifically
developer
how they
does
act
not
like shit.
Yeah.
fucking
If
change
they just
that.
swear at the
So while Digital
sellers, they
Homicides
won't be
Review the
banned from the
Reviewer
spot.
response video might have been the most unprofessional Digital Homicide behaved in this entire saga, I would like everyone to understand that Jim Sterling threw the first punch. Now, am I saying that two wrongs make a right? Am I saying that Digital
So what,
Homicide's
reviewing
actions
the
were
reviewer wasn't the
completely
punch for
justified, and that Jim
Digital
Sterling
Homicide,
deserves
or he
100% of the
treats
blame?
reaction
not
of
by a long shot.
slaughtering ground
What I am
as
saying is that
provocation.
this should have been seen
yeah,
as a case of two
why
wrongs
even
not
make
making a
any
right
reviews
from the
if it's not okay
outset?
what you do or say in a
Instead,
review?
Jim Sterling seems to be entirely
Yeah,
vindicated
basically,
by the court of
we
public
can't
opinion,
have
while
independent
Digital
opinion
Homicide
about
takes
anything.
Yeah.
We can have
100%
only
of the blame.
verified opinion for
In fact,
opinion
not
that
only
was
do I believe
verified
Jim
by a
Sterling
developer.
was
Yeah,
way
exactly.
more
Otherwise it can
professional
hurt
than
their
he needed
feelings.
to be when
Yeah,
reviewing
exactly.
Slaughtering Grounds. I actually think he knows full well that he is crossing lines he absolutely does not need to cross in order to make his points when reviewing
Okay,
the games.
that
I
might be the truth, but
absolutely believe
we
he is
should
lying
remember
out
that
his
that's
ass
basically
when
his
he
personality,
accuses
and
Digital
most people
Homicide
just ignore
of
that.
being the sole offender between the two. How do I know this, you ask? Well, for starters, let's take a brief clip from his Jim video, A Lesson in 5 Nights, where he says the following.
The effect the criticism had on Scott was anything but amusing. The developer spiraled into a deep depression as a result of the response. I'm a sometimes brutal critic, but I have a sympathy for it. It's hard to have something you worked on criticized, even harder to see it just torn apart.
Notice what he just said. He freely admitted that there is a difference between simply reporting the pros and cons of any given game professionally and dutifully and engaging in line-crossing personal attacks against the game developers. Then, he freely admitted to being in the latter category when it comes to most
Dude,
of the
show
games
the
he
full
reviews.
fragment,
He freely
not
admits
just
to going
nitpick
far
this
above and
argument.
far beyond
Yeah.
what is actually
It
necessary
always
to
depends
warrant
if
fans
somebody
of a
is putting
game's
effort into
and
something
enable
or
them to make
not.
informed purchasing
Yes.
decisions.
This
Not only that,
the long story
but
short,
he
Jim
admits
Sterling
to being
applauded to
fully
Scott
aware of how
for
hurt the
basically
subjects of his
making
reviews can feel because
work
of his
on
over-the-line,
mistakes and creating
insult-laden reviews.
FNAF.
But, okay, let's give Sterling every conceivable benefit of the doubt.
He also shits
and
enough on
assume
good,
that
in
he
quotes,
wasn't
good
personally
games
aware
or
of how over the line
AAA
he was
games or
being with
whatever. It's not
Digital
like he's
Homicide
just
in
after
particular.
indie devs or
It would
something
be
like that.
incredibly obtuse
Yes.
of him to not realize that when he
I mean,
realized
I shit
how
enough on
vulgar he
AAA
was being with
titles.
everyone else. But let's assume the worst case scenario here. Do
Like
I
Babylon's
have
Fall.
any evidence that Sterling is
I wanted to play the demo and it
personally
didn't work.
aware that he is being unnecessarily vulgar against specifically
Issues with
Digital
my account.
Homicide? Yes.
No.
Yes, I do. It is said that all magic tricks rely on the magician's ability
Dude,
to distract you
Jim
from the
not
line while getting you
didn't
to focus
focus
your attention where he
exclusively
wants you
on
to.
Digital
And while
Homicide.
Jim Sterling is certainly no magician, though he
He
definitely dresses up as
self-proclaimed
one,
green light
my
sheriff.
experience watching his videos
Yeah, there was enough
have
on Greenlight.
nevertheless shown him glossing over numerous points while only addressing
And
the
now
evidence
even more with
he
Direct.
can refute. One such example is in his 2015 Jimquisition video titled The Slaughtering Grounds, a Steam Meltdown Saga, where he says the following.
It seems Imminent Uprising takes phrases absolutely literally, as shown in an email it sent to Popad where it declared that my video wasn't protected under fair use because my criticism was unfair. Yes, these guys believe that fair use means fair use. As in, if you think the critic is being a meanie poophead, you can try and weaponize the legal system
A
against them.
mini poop
Okay,
bed.
did you see the lie he's trying to distract you from? He asserts that Digital Homicide merely wants to silence criticism of his games. Immediately after, acknowledging that Digital Homicide has allowed other critical videos to remain open. He completely neglects to address the fact that Digital Homicide claims that he would be fine with negative reviews of his games if they would just act in a fair and reasonable
Pause.
manner when doing so.
Pause.
Yeah.
So, how to unravel this? Mm, Basically, he just ignored what Jim just said about fair use.
Yeah. That was also so funny. No, it's not about being fair. No, that's not what
Yeah,
fair use means.
it's basically that Jim took content of this game and created out of it his own content,
Exactly.
and he can basically do with it whatever he wants.
And if you that's it's so weird when you play that game and you create the scene that you show. Yeah, well, you create that scene. It's not like you're taking a trailer from the developer or a gameplay video that they uploaded and created and take that and react on it. So, and we also we react on this video because well, he accuses us of basically, well, it comes, we come to that, so I'm not spoiling it. But basically, it's he accuses of us of an offense that you could actually, yeah, get taken care of in court.
Yeah,
And I think, wait, I'm not. Wait, I have to change that size a little.
let me think what else he told about this thing. Mm. Yeah, funny thing is he basically taken out partial quotes from Jimquisitions, specifically one when he told about Scott. He basically cut out positive what Jim had to say about this experience. Well, not like being in depression is a good experience, but he basically put Scott as an example of a man who grew with this experience, who took this experience and make his work reflect stuff that he learned from this experience.
Yeah, I mean,
He just cut it out.
we had a lot of discussions with several developers over the years, and I found out about one guy. He was also really young when he did some shit. What was the name of that service? Um, Desura, right? Desura, yeah. He promised some stuff and never delivered, basically. And then he started something new on Steam. But if you digged a little bit deeper, you could actually find out that he already scammed a bunch of people. So I got in touch with him and I said, hey, people will find out. So better come clear and explain what happened. Because when he did it, when he was like 13, 14 or something like that, didn't think about it and was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And he posted a thread where he actually explained what he did there, why he did it, that he grew up, and he's the developer of Eternal. Oh shit! Wait. Let me see if I find that. No. Shit. It's a bit like the Long Dark, where you are in the Arctic, and in his game you have dog sled and stuff like that. Shit, what was the name of that? I don't remember. God damn it. Yeah, well, anyway, he actually first he was kind of afraid that people will negatively react about it, but they actually did what I told him how they react. They were basically understanding, and him being honest, gave him a lot of points. The game.
Yeah, basically he's shown that he is grew up.
Yeah, exactly. Not like Lucas, for example, from Corona Motorsport, who just he grew up, but it's I don't know. And he actually started learning game development, so he tried, but
We can applaud that.
yeah.
No joking.
But the other guy actually continued with the game, added stuff to it. The game got better, bigger. Might not be a perfect game, but for the first, in quotes, real game from a single developer, learning and doing everything while making that game, pretty decent. So that was not too bad. But I'm not sure if it's still in I don't know what was the, I don't remember the freaking name. Damn it.
But again, is it fair that Acer Torn took Jim quote and cut it out just to throw away the
Well, it's all
meaning of the message and just nitpick whatever he wanted?
yeah. Somebody that I often have that shit in Steam. I post a paragraph like this long, and then some douchebag quotes the last sentence. But the whole the 4 lines above that were actually replied to a direct to a direct question. The person asked, owning the game. That's something I will never understand. Owns the game and asks others, how is the game running compared to the last version? And I was like, hey, okay, it runs on my end. It runs better than the last update, and I have this and that, and it's running in 21:9 and blah blah blah. And the last sentence was, yeah, but since you own it already, you will find out anyway. And he quoted that and basically said like, what an asinine reply is that? What a stupid answer is that? And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, like this question ain't stupid.
Yeah, exactly. And I replied, hey, first, quote me completely. Here's the full quote for those interested. And second, you asked, you got a reply. What's your problem with that? You do own it. Just try it. How are we supposed to know how the game runs on your fucking end? Are we like
It's not like a Mac when you have 3 different. Well, I'm just it's not like Mac when you have 3 different type of Macs, and basically if it runs on low-end Mac, then it will run on higher-end Macs.
Yeah.
It's basically PC market. Sometimes it's some sort of Frankenstein overclocked and overworked.
Exactly. It's not like you say, oh yeah, that's
Sorry, Frankenstein monster.
yeah, it's like you can compare regular cars and cars from the same tuner if that's after the same standard, but comparing let's say an AMG Mercedes with a Brabus, for example, it's just not working. Yeah, sure, it's a Mercedes, but completely different technology when it comes to the motor and the tuning and all that. It doesn't make any sense. If the AMG guy asks like, "Oh, do I get the same speed like that?" Yeah, maybe. I mean, stay next to one, do a drag race, and you will know. Otherwise, what tires does he use? What gas is he tank? Is he using the regular gas? Is he using some super V bullshit or whatnot? So many components. And the same with the PC. Even if you and I have exactly the same PC, but one RAM stick is different, it can already change a lot, you know. So
Yeah, I know that.
but we both have an Nvidia. I mean, mine is 10-year old and his is new, but it's an Nvidia. Shouldn't it run there? It's like another discussion in the Scorn.
Remembering release of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's in the Scorn forum, for example. They're like, why are the minimum requirements higher than for Cyberpunk? And I'm like, hey, yeah,
I
because
wonder why.
first,
Maybe like Cyberpunk wasn't optimized for low-end machines, despite
no,
whatever
the requirements are much lower for Cyberpunk than for Scorn.
Yeah, I know that. I
But
wonder why. Cyberpunk wasn't optimized for low-end machines.
yeah, but the requirements were low. If it's
Yeah.
optimized or not, it's just the minimum, and that's something that people don't understand. It's the minimum where you get barely playable frame rates. So if Scorn, for example, asks for a 1060, and you try to play it on a 1050, which is not a gaming card, it's an office card, then yeah, sure, it will run, but it will definitely not run as they intended it to look or perform. So sure, you might be able to get it to run on a GTX 560, but well, if you enjoy 5 frames and lowest possible quality settings in an RE4 game, go ahead. I mean, so
About specs making me a
and
bit depressed.
and somebody was like, yeah, there was a YouTube channel and they tried to play high quality games on the lowest possible hardware.
Yeah, and it's always painful to watch.
Yeah, so what yeah, maybe I get Crysis to run on a 486 from the 90s. Yeah, maybe, but it will.
It won't boil instantly.
Yeah, it's not frames per second, it's seconds per frame then. So you get one frame, then you can go make a coffee, come back. Oh, it changed. Wait, loading screen is gone. Okay, I can go shopping, then I go to dinner, and when I'm back, I might be in the menu. Yeah. Ooh, it runs on old, outdated hardware. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point of a new game is to be run on the best possible, not on, let's see how low we can go. Oh, hey, it looks totally shit.
At least it's supposed to be run in middle-aged PC without problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to turn down a game to the lowest settings and reduce the resolution from full HD, your system sucks ass. Get a fucking console or Game Pass or GeForce Now, and then you can play still on your Pentium first generation if you.
Or do like me, if you can, just buy a new PC part by part. I spent year and a half basically making my PC as it is right now.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. You normally always. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, some stuff.
It's an option for some people.
Yeah, it's true, but I personally Yeah, I normally
I wasn't
just
a
change.
fan of it as well. I was looking at my new graphics card, I was looking at my new CPU, and I was like, damn, when I would be able to use it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You basically you buy a Porsche and you miss like 2 cylinders. Oh, you get those in 6 months. Yeah, I can drive it, but it only goes 250, not 300. Oh, come on. But yeah,
Uh,
not the biggest fan of that.
we're having too much fun, we must continue. Uh,
Okay, you mean let's destroy the fun a little bit? All right, let's continue with this here.
time?
It's 17:20.
Okay.
Okay, play.
Sterling completely ignores that point.
I forgot
So
what he
clearly
told
he thinks he
beside
has the
that
right
point.
to level whatever egregious line
Same for me. It's basically
he wants at a game developer. And the developer is expected to just sit there and take
Good
it
movie.
without retort like he's in a goddamned boot camp. Now, am I saying
I'm sorry,
that
I'm
Digital
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
Homicide
sorry. Pause
was
again, pause
legally
again,
in the right
pause
to
again.
I mean, developers can be pissed about criticism. Sure, nothing against that. But
Yeah,
if you don't even if you don't see the criticism as criticism, just as
personal
pissing.
attack.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
not personal attack. Digital Homicide took attacks on their product. I'm refused to call it a game.
yeah.
Attack of their product as personal attack.
That's the thing, exactly. They didn't differentiate it and they made it personal and they started attacking Jim. Then Jim attacked them for attacking him. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, if you
And
piss
then
on
whole shit show started to, again, people started to throw allegations, people started to laugh at bad quality, and Digital Homicide started to get personal.
yeah, exactly. And I don't remember any developer ever in gaming history trying to sue 200 people of a game-related group. It's just
And most of those people were just unknowns. And
you know,
people who used to be in this lawsuit used to be people under their nicknames.
yeah, and you know the funny thing. I just thought about it a few days ago. We basically with our group we were basically at the start and the beginning of all the bullshit scams and asset flips and everything that we have today. We were there when it started.
It used to be right end of green light era.
Yeah, we were right there when everything started to become shit. We are part of that history in, in in one way or another. We definitely we became history.
And we not only shitted on games, we we mostly used to warn people about those giveaway scams, about bot farms and whatnot.
Yeah, all that shit that you heard one day on Steam. We were
And,
there.
and also, when it comes to personal, I wasn't browsing Greenlight just to see game that I want to shit on. I browsed Greenlight to see games that I potentially interested in.
Yeah,
Stuff that I would like to see on Steam and buy it.
exactly. And it started already back then that a lot of shit came on Greenlight because, well, they realized how easy it can be, and
Yeah,
um,
$100 per submitter. That's why we can have publishers like Dagestan Technology.
hmm,
when they collected several developers who produced low quality games, and they were all released under Dagestan Technology banner. And Dagestan Technology basically developed only 1 or 2 games. Well, developed.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it really takes.
But they got revenue from other games that they published.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to know how much certain developers actually made with all their shit on Steam.
If we basically might not know it now ever.
And it's now.
And everything at the end of the year, we used to be told that most of the income comes from trading cards and not from basically sales of the game itself.
Yeah, and from trading cards, the developers only get, I think, 10 or 20% or so. Most
Yes,
from
but
trading
it's
cards.
still much more. It's still more than basically 10,000 copies that you gave away for free
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to get the attraction.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
And again, back to a movie that he used and his words that you must to take it like you in a goddamn boot camp. If I remember correctly, this movie, one private that was who took it too much of a shit, he shot his sergeant and shot himself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was bullied.
Yeah,
but
I know.
but yeah, yeah. It's maybe.
Basically, he was a broken man.
Yeah. So he
If he wasn't that broken, he could just kill Sergeant and be arrested for the rest of his life.
Yeah, if he shows that video from Full Metal Jacket, yeah, and you think about it a bit more, if Digital Homicide is Private Paula, that's the guy that you mean, that doesn't speak too well about them, right? Because they also took it way too personal. I mean, Paula also took it personal, but yeah, well, he also kinda took down the whole squad, and Digital Homicide took down the whole freaking green lights. So, but the thing is, they didn't shoot themselves. They got shot by Valve, so that's a bit different.
Yes.
They also didn't shoot any.
Basically, Digital Homicide, unlike the
Well,
example that he used, were excluded from Steam for their behaviors.
Yeah,
because Digital Homicide couldn't take it.
they basically got pushed out of the base and then tried to shoot inside.
Yeah.
That's when they shoot at Jim and the 200 of our group.
And not just shoot out from the base inside, shoot in the base through metal fucking wall.
Yeah, and they only had a magazine with one bullet, and they were standing outside.
And that was 9mm bullet.
No, yeah, that, and they were standing outside, asking the soldiers who were going in and out for ammunition. Like, hey, can you please? Do you have a bullet? And everybody was like, yeah, you can have a bullet, but you have to pay me like $2 for that bullet. You know, like when people realized on what was it, GoFundMe, that if the
GoFundMe
if the donation
fund our lawsuit against Jim.
Yeah, so basically they were standing outside and they were like, hey, we need ammo for that assault rifle, and they just came in and they were like, oh yeah, we have ammo, here's 9mm. That's what they did on GoFundMe. They were like, oh, you want money for a lawyer that you want to sue somebody and have no lawyer and need money from us? Oh, okay. I just give you, let me give you 20 cents. Oh, wait, the fee to get the 20 cents is like 22 cents? Oh. Well, that's a miscalculation. Sorry. Let me donate another 20. It was basically like that. You get 100% and you have to pay like 105% to get it out or something else. But what bullshit. Everything below a dollar or whatnot had so high fees that they actually paid more for the fees than the money that they got. I think the highest they got, the GoFundMe, was $460 or so.
Good old days.
Yeah, and a good lawyer doesn't even start work below 200 or $300 an hour. So yeah, it's too. I was really looking forward to them suing me and being in that lawsuit, but yeah, they couldn't sue me here. They had no money, so.
The same goes for me.
I mean, I can.
I give no shit about U.S. court.
I can afford it.
Our court don't give a shit about their needs.
I can afford it. I mean, I was really hoping that they will sue me. I was already laughing and asking for it. It was also one of the main reasons why I became the admin, because I was not afraid of anyone trying to come after me. I was like, no, come, sue me, come on, come over here, come be my guest, sue me, because we destroyed your company. Yeah, it's like,
well, basically that name is our trophy, and we ain't going to part with it.
Yeah, the cool thing is we're still here. They're gone. Well, they tried a few years ago.
In a way, we're still here.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, we are as we too.
Well, yeah, there are a few people in the background and stuff still.
Yeah, definitely, but not as it used to be.
But since
As much as it used to be.
Yeah, you cannot really do much. I mean, yeah, you can inform people, but then you have a group who buys games that get delisted and removed from Steam, and they don't care how shit that game is. They have some psychological issues and they really need professional help. They have the urge to buy every shit that gets removed just to keep it. And that's why I said, hey, physical copies of Babylon fail? Yeah, I have to... What I do tomorrow is drive to a store and see if I can buy a bunch of those copies. Trust me, in a few years they will be worth a shit ton of money. There will be collectors who will be like, oh yeah, I need that.
Copies. Okay, I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, just to have it, just to, oh, here, see, I got it, worst game. I mean, let's face it. How many AAA titles have been removed after 3 or 4 months being out on the market? I don't remember one single game.
E.T.
Yeah, well, E.T. was not directly AAA quality or anything.
It was before even AAA appeared.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, but the quality was directly as shit that they directly said.
Yeah.
But Babylon's Fall, I think...
At least it looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, it also sounded not too bad, but first it was overpriced on release with $70, and second...
And as far as I know, price didn't drop as well.
No, they had no final sale or anything. It doesn't make any sense because, well, they turn off the servers.
I would be more pissed if they had a final sale, because they either going to turn off servers either at the end of this year or at the start of the next year.
Oh, I think
final sale is basically would be like, hey, let us scam you one last time.
No, I think the servers are already off. The last stats that I saw was players over 30 days on Steam, 0. Not 1, not 2. 0 on SteamDB. Nobody, not one single person on the whole fucking planet touched the game in a month. I never saw that in any game. Not any game, even Slaughtering Grounds and shit like that is played more than Babylon's Fail ever was played.
That's actually quite sad and telling.
I think the most people who played it were actually content creators who got the game for free. Anybody else refunded it. I mean, there are only a handful, a few hundred reviews. Yeah, you cannot even check that anymore. Steam, the store page is gone as well, as far as I know. And I wanted to play the demo just to see would that game had any chance if it had no microtransactions and shit. The developer, was it
Nier Automata developer.
who was the dev of Babylon's Fall?
Nier Automata developer.
The
same developer as Nier Automata.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Oh, the name?
Yeah. I have a name in my head, but I'm not sure if that's the right one.
I can't check it on Steam.
Platinum, yeah, Platinum Games. Well, they used to make good games, and Nier Automata is not a bad game, but they hurt their reputation with Babylon's Fail really, really a lot.
Yeah.
They really.
Let's hope that the next game won't be first overpriced, second playable offline. Basically, stuff that people expect from them.
Yeah, and the problem is, so many games lately have been removed, and those used to be single-player games, but they had servers, so you cannot play those single-player games from those.
Ubisoft, I mean.
Cash grab. No. Ubisoft, you can play all those games. You just don't have the online capability, which doesn't make any sense for Assassin's Creed anyway. And certain DLCs which also used online functions. So single player, you can play single player all you want. Single player games.
Okay.
That's something I don't mind, because after a few years, it doesn't make sense to keep servers running for what if the multiplayer is dead and it's a developer who knows their shit. It's just a patch and there's no online capability in the game anymore, because single player doesn't need network. So
Shocking.
so no, that it was at the beginning. People misunderstood that info. It was maybe shit phrased from Ubisoft, but they kind of explained that it's just really related. If you cannot buy those games anymore, yeah, that's true. But if you own it, you still keep it. You don't lose a game. It's not like with a few other games where you actually. Well, you have the game, but you cannot use it anymore because it's dead. It's an online-only game. And the next really cool thing, Microsoft or Bethesda just reactivated servers for Return to Castle Wolfenstein and Enemy Territory.
Oh, so Enemy Territory as well?
Yes. Both of those games have new official servers after over 10 years. It's fucking awesome. This is free, where another developer doesn't get shit done or removes a single player game and their server capability. Bethesda and Microsoft is like, hey, wait a second, we have a game that is free to play game. We don't make any cent with that game. Never did, because the game was always free to play. Hey, you know what? We're in a good mood. Here, have 8 servers for that. And now some people are like, yeah, but it's 2022 and 8 versus 8. Can't we have 30 versus 30? Seriously, dude, that game is like 15 plus years old. Shut the fuck up. Be happy you can play it at all. And be happy if you even find 16 people playing it at the same time. Oh my god, some people. Or another was like, can we have bots? Dude, there were no bots back then. You think anybody is sitting down and they're like, oh, yeah, let's code some bots for a game nobody will make any money with because, haha! I mean, starting a server is not a problem. You just set up a server and it's just working. But yeah, making new functions in a game that's out for a long time and not one of the developers maybe left, I don't know. But yeah, Bethesda or Microsoft, they do a really, really great job with everything lately. They also integrated...
Well, not Bethesda. Fallout 76 still exists.
Yeah, true, but it also just got a new update, and well, Bethesda is only a name. It's owned by Microsoft, so
still in Bethesda.
yeah, sadly so, but well,
let's continue.
I hope they have some contract because the dude from Blizzard, Kotick, I think.
Oh, Activision.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard. Yeah. He. I think next year will be the last year. Then he is gone.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, he had some temporary 2-year contract or something like that because they couldn't kick him or something like that. It's if you take over companies and stuff, and yeah, you have to do special contracts to get rid of people. It's sometimes not that easy to get rid of somebody. So
specifically so, who would be like, hey, you can't get rid of me at least for 2 years.
Yeah, basically, and yeah, so I still hope that Bethesda will be cleaned up as well. Like I said, so far what Microsoft did over the last few years, and also continuously do with the Xbox app, not just with the Xbox system itself, which I do know more than others, but I obviously cannot talk about it because I know a lot of stuff that is coming to Xbox, but I'm not allowed to talk to it about it because a lot of functions I see like 6 months before everybody else. Since for those who don't know, I work for Xbox as tester for the user interface. And I knew ahead of time that Discord will be a thing for Xbox. So hey, Sony, and what they just now integrated as well, finally, is how long to beat the game. So any game, when you go in the Xbox app, it tells you how long the game takes for just the story, for medium, and for full completionist. So for somebody like me who wants to maybe do a stream to finish a game in one stream, I can check and see, oh, okay, that game is that long. It's a function not one single platform has yet. Not one single platform has that. And they integrated it. It's awesome.
Tell me when Xbox going to merge console library and PC library. Not on there. When you're going to learn it, just tell me.
Well, you don't, because it's if they integrate xCloud into the PC desktop app, then yes, then you might have that. But at the moment, there's no way, as far as I know, to stream. Well, I can stream from my Xbox to my PC. That's not a problem. So in theory, I have access to both my libraries, but on PC it just shows my PC library. I know what you mean, but that might become a thing. If you own an Xbox, yeah, there should be the library, and then it should ask you, hey, do you want to play it on the Xbox or do you want to stream it to your PC? That's how I streamed a few Xbox games. The Xbox still needs to run next to me, and the quality is a little bit lower, but I can basically stream with almost no latency to my desktop PC. So
nice.
That's working. I also streamed from my phone. So I streamed from the Xbox to my phone and from my phone to OBS. The delay was obviously shit, but technically it works. So if I want to play a xCloud game on my phone outside, my Xbox doesn't need to run. That runs through the services from Xbox and Microsoft themselves. But if I stream at home, it needs my Xbox. But otherwise, you don't even need an Xbox to play Xbox One games or Xbox X games. So, all right. I'm at 1749.
Same.
All right, and play.
To bring a DMCA takedown notice against Sterling? Did he actually have a legitimate case of copyright infringement against Sterling after all? No, he did not. The reasonableness, professionalism, and civility of the criticism is simply not a relevant factor in a fair use determination as a matter of law. However, my purpose with this video is not to argue the legality of the matter, although I will be addressing the lawsuits Digital Homicide has filed later in this video, though not in a legal sense. Rather, my purpose with this video is to appeal to the court of public opinion, and to that end, I truly believe not just that Sterling was way more unprofessional than he needed to be, but that he knew full well that he was way more unprofessional than he needed to be, and
was
simply
with
didn't
Sterling
care.
and not with Digital
Therefore,
Homicide?
his attempts to portray himself as nothing but the victim, while portraying Digital Homicide as nothing but the offender, is the equivalent of a bully in school goading a little kid into swinging at him, beating the shit out of that little kid, and then claiming that beatdown was done in self-defense.
Well,
Now,
okay, I have a pause here. Well, it's one thing. Well, what Jim basically did, he went to the bully and basically slapped the bully, trying to bully every good indie developer on Steam.
And beside that, there used to be a bunch of kids who also, well, maybe wasn't that direct with the bully, but who spread a word about this bully, like, hey, don't deal with this guy. He's a bully. He's won't bring anything good to you.
I mean, Digital Homicide deleted and censored a shit ton of comments and everything. They bullied their way into Greenlight, and he just made it public, basically. He was the biggest and loudest voice that made it public. And then the bully was like,
at the time, and biggest and loudest voice, they tried to censor it.
Yeah. And when they realized, oh wait, there are more people. I mean, it was not just Digital Homicide calling us a lynch mob, which is bullshit because we never forced anybody.
Lynch mob, but an army of genetically modified monkeys, basically.
Yeah. Well, some other developer actually called us lynch mob. Because, well, at some point with over 1,000 members back then already, yeah, I mean, it gets apparent that people who learn about it go there and downvote. It's not like we never actually, and we come to that a bit later in the video as well, we never actually told anybody, hey, you have to go there and downvote the shit out of it. No, we said, hey, here's some info, and now do with that info whatever you please. If you download it, but here, we did sometimes, if some shit was...
We did ask the people to report stuff, specifically when the stuff broke Steam rules.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to say. We did tell people to report if there was something worth reporting. Like, For example, I'm normally not reporting everything that I would want to report, but if I read something that is racist or homophobe or anything like that, yeah, I definitely report it. And if I see something that's related to anything Nazi Germany or so in an avatar or in a profile, I report the fuck out of it. And sometimes Shady sends me profiles that he stumbles over, which have, I don't know, really questionable content. Like, if you look at it without any knowledge, you would say, okay, yeah, that's somebody who is into kids and stuff like that. And you
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. Specifically, people who have anime profiles and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you barely know what actually gets acted on, but he takes care of archiving a few things, and he just showed me one profile. They actually made sure that's changed. No screenshots related to uh, panty shots in anime games and stuff like that. All gone. He had all kind of shit like that, and yeah.
Panzer shots are basically one of the stones of anime community.
Yeah, there was a thread about Dead by Daylight, and somebody called some hackers or cheaters pedophiles for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, huh, what, why, huh?
Basically, they called them that person like that because they didn't like it.
Yeah, it's these days, seriously. I mean, I'm online for a long time now. I'm online for almost 30 years. Holy shit. Yeah. The internet was such a nice place back in the day where you had an
At
AOL
least nicer.
an AOL disk every week in your mailbox. Hey, 600 hours for free, AOL, yay, woo! But yeah, seriously, back then it just was. Not everybody could go online. That was the first thing. It took a little bit of effort to even be able to go online. So you had stupid people online, but the majority was a bit on a higher level. I remember the first few times when I went into chat rooms in AOL. I was online before AOL, but AOL was basically the thing that pushed the internet as we know it today, I would say. Because you had everything in one area and everything. So, and I was talking to a guy from, I think he was from New York or something like that. He was a doctor, and it was so cool. We were just talking like half an hour or so, and he was totally fascinated that somebody from Germany knows that good English, and it was really fun just talking, just chatting in some stupid chat room. And
Yeah, I know.
today it's all like, and somebody posted something in an announcement thread, and if you want to have info go somewhere, an announcement of a patch or so is useless because so many people post that it's already lost. And you know me, I can be really direct, and for some people that seems to be rude. Anyway, I posted something like, yeah, that's definitely the wrong thread. Here's a thread for suggestions. And he came at me like, and, hey, what the hell? I just posted that link, dude. It wasn't an order or anything. Post your shit where you want. I just thought others might actually like that idea. And in that thread, which is meant for suggestions for the game that you want to see, people might actually see it and be like, oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. And here it gets lost.
In specific thread, it can get attraction.
Exactly. And he was like, yeah, I was just making fun, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? No matter how you say it, and then obviously I reacted like, hey, so many snowflakes. I have a snowflake emoji in Steam. I love it, and
You know,
I have to send
when
you to that.
Steam,
Send you that.
when Steam added those rewards, they definitely didn't consider one thing: Slavic culture. You know that chicken head that have fire came in
Yeah.
his mouth. Mute me for the stream and tell me that you did it.
Wait. Yeah, I think only I. Can you say something? Yeah, it's only me. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people. How do I say? I mean, a lot of people give you Chester awards when they think you're an idiot or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't actually mind too much because first, those morons who give me that award are the real idiots and they have nothing to say. That's why they use an award and not a reply. And I don't mind. Every one of those stupid Chester awards gives me 200 fucking points. I have like
Yeah, I know.
I have like
Rewards are cool.
I have like 30,000 points. At this point I get like, I don't know, 10 awards per week minimum. So I have over 30,000 points from stupid awards. Sometimes I like the awards when they're like there's something like a philosopher stuff, or I mean, some awards are pretty cool, but you never 100% know how they mean it. So
Yeah.
I know some people get offended by getting Chester awards, and I'm like, it's 200 points from an idiot, so I don't fucking care. Let him come. Go on, bring him in. I don't mind. I mean, I have one post, and that was like the second or the third post in that announcement. It's like page 20 or so. I still get awards for that, and it was in the Cyberprank mod tool announcement. And I was like, okay, so who's the first modder who releases a definitive 2018 Cyberpunk experience mod? So what we actually saw in the trailer and what we were all waiting for. And I got a bunch of Chesters. I think I got 10 different awards for that. Also the one that...
Wait, people think that what was promised the same as what we got?
Yeah, no.
Don't get me wrong, I still like Cyberpunk, but I don't think that we got what we was promised.
No. A lot of people in there are actually like, yeah, it's your fault if you watch a trailer and then you expect to have all that in a game. I mean,
Oh no! So trailers basically mean nothing. How shocking!
well, it does say it's in development, video footage and blah 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 and stuff, but I mean, we do know now.
At least they should try to get to image that they saw.
We could actually
Gave us.
after almost 2 years, we could actually do another Cyberprank state of the game streamcast about it, because apparently a lot of people have issues playing the game now with the latest patch, and DLC is supposed to come out next year, and the patch.
Yeah, I get I got some issues with the game as well. I turned off cross-platformer save and a lot of issues were gone.
Okay.
But not all of them, but a lot of them.
The funny part is when people in that patch announcement are like, "Oh, okay, and can we get vehicle customization and stuff like that now?" And somebody was like, "Yeah, there's a mod for that already." And I thought, okay. So it took them over 1.5 years to integrate the bare minimum that even the cheapest fucking RPG game on the planet has in it. Changing your hairstyle and your look at a barber or whatever. Wearing an armor before you actually pay for it. Things like that took them almost 2 years to integrate, and now people ask.
I'm actually more glad that they gave us opportunity to create costumes without changing your armor.
Yeah,
you
that
basically can put whatever you want on yourself.
Exactly, transmog. That's something that games had 20 years ago, where you the same like even in Lost Ark, you can have an outfit over your armor, so you can choose either to show your, I don't know, your snowman costume or whatnot, but
basically show your style or flex with your armor.
Exactly. And do you want to see your helmet? Oh, you don't want to? Oh, okay, then just deactivate that eye symbol right there. And that's something that's been in games for decades. And it took them over 1.5 years to integrate that. Which
but I think
by
the idea with cyberpunk related stream actually a good one, and let's do it next time.
Yeah, and the next thing shit, I lost my my thoughts there. But yeah, it's so weird. Oh yeah, one of the free DLCs for The Witcher 3 was shaving your beard and growing hair. So you actually had something.
Is it DLC?
Yeah, that was one of the 16 free DLCs they released back then.
I'm way too late got into Witcher 3 bandwagon.
Yeah, when they released all those DLCs, it was after the game came out. They released it basically as a fuck you to all the developers who asked for money for every single DLC. And they kind of mocked all the other devs. And now it took them almost 2 years to release the base. The base that
now, and now Witcher 3 is basically a mockery of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to do all that stuff in that game. How hard can it be to just take all that the bases you have already from The Witcher 3 and just, well, put Cyberpunk on top of that and adapt? No, they were like, oh yeah, we have that in RPG, and oh no, let's just scrap that. Nobody wants that.
They finally fixed looting. They finally fixed unlootable loot.
Yeah, I have 1 or 2 areas where I'm not sure if they actually fixed that, but we will see about that.
I saw one of those areas, if you mean right outside this apartment, that they just deleted the loot.
No, there was something, I'm not sure if that was in your bathroom, but there's something next to a washing machine or so on the ground, and you cannot pick it up. It does show you what it is, but you cannot pick it up. It's just...
Yeah, okay, I get it. Stuff... Yeah, that's basically what I meant.
Yeah.
They just deleted it.
Okay. But they also integrated new stuff related to the cat, because that's important.
Oh, that's only in photo mode.
Yeah, I know. It's
Ah.
it's just a joke. And they didn't even fix.
Wait a fucking second. I just remembered something. I started the game from the scratch. Did you play till the mission when you get to infiltrate what was Arasaka warehouse to get to the
Yeah,
parade platform?
that took me like.
Do you remember how we and Takemura reacted to a cat in the Night City? They were both like, "Wow!" Guess what I saw? The first hour in the new Cyberpunk. The cat before Vic's.
Yeah, I don't.
Right in front of Vic clinic in that basement, sitting cat.
Yeah, I thought about restarting the game from scratch as well with a lot of those changes and stuff. I'm almost through the game. I'm only missing a few. Well, the new gigs they added, I obviously didn't do those, and a few other police encounters. But I think I'm like three missions away from ending the game, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, basically main missions.
no, everything. I did everything.
Mm.
All
Oh,
side,
you
all,
mean you clean almost every secondary activity?
yeah, I cleaned almost everything on the map. Just the police encounters are left, and like the 2 or 3 last missions of the full game. And then I basically,
Yeah, okay.
and that's why that's one of the reasons why it took me so long, because I wanted to do everything on the first go, basically. But I was waiting for patches and stuff so I can, yeah, and I think I just play the last few missions, those 2 hours, and then I'll be done. Or I don't know. I kind of want to play it in VR though,
Mm-hmm.
because it does look pretty decent in VR, and it does have motion controls, so you aim actually like that with your pistol, and you have different ways what you can do with your motion controls.
I think we should give Ace Return a bit more of our love.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely should do that. But I will also need something fresh to drink. I'm all out of stuff. So if you
Yeah,
if you want to grab something to drink or something, then
mm-hmm.
let's do a short break here,
Yeah,
because
okay. Let's do it.
let's do like a 5 minute break. We made it to almost 20 minutes in the video, and we're just 45 minutes into the stream. Ha! Well, 30 minutes because we started too late, but oh god,
1:38.
that's gonna take a
1 hour
while.
38 minutes.
Why is it actually showing an hour and 38? That doesn't make any sense. It shows an hour 38.
Because we started at well 8 at my time, and now it's 9:47.
How the
Well, not directly at 8.
How the fuck did we get over 1.5 hours and did only manage to watch 20 minutes of the fucking video?
Because this video is so freaking cool that we want to stretch it.
No, seriously. Yeah, I realize. I mean, it's almost 5 p.m. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, we started late. Okay, yeah, I get it. We started. How the fuck did we end up at 1 hour 38 already? What the fuck?
I have no idea.
I seriously have no clue how we actually managed to do that.
Basically, part 1.
Oh my god, fuck me. I mean, that video is 1:11:15. And they expected us to go at least 1.5 or 2 hours with the stream to get through the video. But that we didn't even manage to get to 30 minutes in 1.5 hours. Yeah, I think we might actually have to split that because
We should at least finish Jim's segment at 31 minutes 47 seconds or something like that. Basically, today we're just finishing Jim's segment, and the next one is going to be focused on us.
I'm, I'm literally in tears here. I have tears in my eyes, seriously. Looking at the video time and at the stream time, I seriously thought OBS is fucking with me. I mean, time was flying by like whoosh.
I told you we're having too much fun with this video.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Should we actually tweet Ethathorn that he should come by and watch?
Let's do it the next one.
Oh, actually, part 2, I want him to be in the chat pissing.
Let's just finish. He might not come to us. We're too small for him.
Oh yeah, right. He's like huge.
He have too high of the standards,
He's
and we out of those standards.
he's huge. He has like 2,600. No wait. Yeah, no wait. What? Wait a second. Is that's 2,640, right? 2 point. Yeah.
Yep.
2,640. Wow! Oh my god!
Just look at his like-dislike ratio. 16 likes against 125 dislikes.
1,500 dislikes.
No. 125 dislikes against 16 likes.
Yes,
Still nothing good.
still it's 1 to 9 or something like that. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I still need something to drink and now I have to pee as well because
Yeah.
oh, this is
No
just
break. And let's just finish this Jim segment and next time continue with our segment.
yeah, let's just go as far as we can go in the next, I don't know, maybe 30 or 20 minutes or so. All right, anyway, I will be right back.
See ya.
All right, and we're back. Oh boy, I'm still laughing. Oh god, seriously.
Okay.
Oh, I had no I had nothing to drink at home anymore. That's why I came a bit late. I had to get to my parents to get some of that.
We should at least finish Jim's segment, and this one is the start of the last part of Jim's segment. The next
Okay.
one, the next segment is start about us, but looks like we won't be able to go through it today.
Okay, we just go as far as we can, and let's say another roughly 30 minutes?
Yeah, we have like 10 minutes to react.
Alright, yeah, that's like 11 minutes to end of that when it starts with the asset flip stuff, so yeah, we see how far we can go. Okay, well, I'm at
I'd say we go as far as we can push or till the asset flip mark.
yeah, you just tell me when it's time, because well, I can go open end, but we don't have to. But yeah,
Let's just go as far as we can or till the asset flip.
the end of the asset flip is
No,
actually
till the start of the asset flip, because the asset flip, it's when he started to speak about us.
yeah, but that continues over here as well in the assault on digital homicide. That's where it actually gets really interesting.
Yeah, so
So until
let's just,
until that, it's roughly 20 minutes.
I think we might spend at least 40 minutes reacting to his 11.
Okay, let's just continue and we see. So I'm at 19:15.
Yeah, roughly the same.
All right, then let's go.
Reiterate, Digital Homicides response video Review the Reviewer is the
That game was actually promising.
literally the most unprofessional he has acted in this entire debacle.
Well, we talked
All
about
other
this.
instances of his behavior after that point,
About all of those
I
games.
believe are entirely defensible, which transitions me to
Highly
my next
defensible.
point for this video.
Censorship
In his
of
Jimquisition
the
video,
criticism and stuff like
Steam
that.
needs to
Yeah,
tax
exactly.
Shithead developers. Sterling came down hard on his belief that
Also
indie developers
giveaways
on
and
Steam
whatnot.
should be held to the same standards of professionalism, ethics, and on-the-job behavior as actual Valve employees, and that Valve should discipline unruly indie developers the same way they would discipline their own developers. In that video,
If you want to
he
be a
held
professional
Digital Homicide
developer,
up
even as
as
an
a
indie
prime
developer,
example of the kind
you should
of
act
lack of
professional.
professionalism
Yeah.
allegedly
Behavior
Steam at the time
is
that
also
video
part
was
of
made.
being a good developer, I mean.
I just don't see it. Now, to be fair, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was not around when this feud was ongoing,
No
so
shit.
I have no way of knowing exactly what I would have found if I had checked out Digital Homicide's Steam.
Okay,
forum
wait.
posts.
Okay. That's where already. That's where he really starts to piss me off. So besides what comes later, keep this part here in mind. He said, "I was not around when all that stuff happened, but." So yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people talking about stuff they either didn't see or didn't experience, didn't play, or haven't been real how do you say not victim, what's the other word,
Participate.
Yeah, either you participated or you were the. God damn it! What's the person who, the witness? That if you were a witness of something, you know that you were standing behind something or whatever.
Mhm.
He's basically referring to stuff like, oh, I heard from a friend of a friend whose cousin knows somebody who heard about something. Basically, he knows nothing about that shit, and we were there from the beginning with everything.
I can say that he basically acting like he's not he heard it from distant cousin
No,
of a friend of a friend of a friend. Well, I get.
he saw a few
I
videos.
think
He bases his whole idea or opinion on how bad against digital homicide the videos of Jim Sterling were, not on.
No, he basically based his idea around I don't like Jim Sterling, therefore everything that Jim Sterling said is bad and wrong. Therefore, digital homicide isn't right here.
Yeah, and because he didn't know how shit digital homicide was all the way, we know. So yeah, well, the later part doesn't fit this narrative. So what he said over there. Actually, I want to hear that again. That's kind of. Wait. I'm at. I'm at 2013.
2013. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, same-ish.
All right, and play.
An example of the kind of lack of professionalism that allegedly plagued Steam at the time that video was made.
Allegedly.
However, I just don't see it. Now, to be fair, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was not around.
I was
when
not
this
around.
was ongoing.
When this was ongoing.
Basically, it's like I didn't read it, but I have an opinion. And to form his opinion, he didn't even check what other people said about this stuff and whatnot.
Homicide, which he shares with us from time to time in his own videos. In one of these screenshots, Digital Homicide honestly comes off as quite patient with his customers, thanking them for their input. I'm sorry, but how does that even remotely
that
qualify
game.
as unhinged delusional
Yep.
hack behavior? Now I want you to consider
What
the fact
about
that in
others
this same video,
accounts
he shows
when
us
he acted
screenshots
not
from a guy
professional?
called Blind 1964. Put those forum posts side by side with Digital Homicide's posts. Which one would you say shows a complete lack of professionalism? Get a life, you filthy queer! Or, the games will remain as they are. Thank you for your input.
Wait,
Now,
boy,
I know what you're thinking.
is that was a
This is
fly
only
post?
one-
Wait.
Pause. Was that blind guy is fat? Was that blind guy fat fly?
Wait a second. I have to pause at that comment.
Now,
I wanted to pause there.
Consider the fact that in this same video, he shows us screenshots from a guy called Blind.
Okay. Okay. Wait.
Yeah, that's a fat fly.
Wait a second. So, okay, reported for flooding, spamming green light. So that guy is the original post is against digital homicide. Because of multiple submissions, deleting comments, both games reported, still downvote. And then a developer that we also covered, and I also
No, that's I think that specifically was in Fat Fly forums because he did absolutely the same thing.
yeah, but anyway, if it's against digital homicide or another shitty scammer developer, doesn't really matter. Might be in his but it's basically yeah, that's actually interesting. We should see it's not it was not deleted. It was just locked.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, then he is talking about digital homicide. So this would be like Asia Fairley or whatever that name is, was actually talking about DigiHom in that thread here when he wasn't, because he
just found. Wait a second.
as a viewer, I would expect that Blind 1964 would be part of Digital Homicide now at this point,
Yeah, maybe with
because it says
but,
developer.
To be fair, Acer Phone did specify that this blind guy ain't related to digital homicide. So yeah,
Did he?
different thing. This screenshot.
But he
I think this screenshot was taken either from Guardians of Greenlight or from Digital Homicides. We used to have those things posted in there.
yeah, but we didn't really lock any threads as far as I know.
Yeah. I'm talking about screenshots. We used to have screenshots like this.
Oh
posted.
yeah, that could be. But he also makes it sound like this would be. He's referring to that, right? To the bit of filthy queer here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of makes it sound like that would be a reaction against digital homicide.
No. He's just comparing digital homicide. How digital homicide made one of those posts when they acted professional. With some of those rare moments, and comparing them to Fatfly, and comparing anybody to Fatfly is, well, it's basically a low-hanging fruit. Nobody can be as unprofessional as Fatfly.
He actually reported one of the screenshots that I posted of his. What was it? That tactical blah blah, I don't know, that shit rap game.
Yeah, basically
and I posted
tactical insertion or something like that.
Yeah, I have it for some reason. I have the full version in my account. I have to play it again.
What?
Yeah. I played it back then, but I still kind of have a version.
I thought you downloaded it for free from his site.
I don't know. But I posted a screenshot of the in-game menu. So I didn't do anything. I just posted a screenshot of the in-game menu. That was all I did, and I commented below it with something like stock photo in the background or something like that. It's you write in Google like F14 or something. I don't know what he used in the background, or tiger tank or something like that, and you see that on the first page of Google in Google search. And just like the blood splatter in the slaughtering ground, if you Google blood splatter, you will find those blood splatters they used in their game in the slaughtering ground. You find them easily. I think I even have them. Oh my god, this is.
Acer Phone, it's too low comparing anyone to Fatfly. Just know it, it's too low. Fatfly man who needs professional help.
Yeah, he actually, his game is on Steam. He renamed it again. I just saw it a few months ago, and I was like, wait a second. I think Shady or Shade sent me the link or so. Okay. So I'm at 2109.
21. Yep.
All right, and play.
Behavior. Now I want you to consider the fact that in this same video, he shows us screenshots from a guy called Blind1964.
Oh, he
Put
took it
those
from
forum
Jim's
posts
video.
side by
Okay,
side
so
with
that's
Digital
definitely one of our
Homicides posts.
screenshots.
Which one would you say shows a complete lack of professionalism? Get a life, you filthy queer! Or, the games will remain as they are. Thank you for your input. Now I know what you're thinking. This
Wasn't
is
even in
only one
context.
Screenshot. Surely Digital Homicide had other altercations with other customers, where his delusion
Oh, the handling of that game.
personality truly showed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I highly
I
doubt
basically
I cannot
surprised
see
that
any more of
he
Digital Homicide's
picked
Steam
this
forum
gameplay
posts
as
due to the
representation
simple
that
fact
Digital
that
Homicide
the reader
wasn't a
right
bad
alongside
developer.
Digital Homicide's Steam account.
You cannot, for the love of God, if you believe in that,
One screenshot
pick up the shit
because
in
Jim
the
Sterling
drawer.
used that screenshot in some of his videos.
Yeah.
So while there is a 1 in a million chance he might have acted truly vile towards his customers,
Well,
and
he-
More
others,
like 1 in a million
it really
chances
is
that
a 1
he
in a
wasn't
million chance.
acted
Think about
violent.
it.
The funny
Sterling
part is
obviously
he
considers these
is
screenshots
somebody
to be
going after. Wait a
representative
second.
of Digital
I'm gonna
Homicide's
pause.
general behavior on
He is actually somebody going for other people and goes for DMCA strikes when somebody like us talks about him and uses his logo or something like that. He goes for DMCA strikes.
Oh yeah, actually I forgot. Well, how could I forgot about it when we basically talked about it? And Sid was also hit by it.
Yeah, Sid Alpha, go and follow his YouTube channel. He was actually sued by Ethathon for, well, reacting on this video, right?
Well, maybe I don't remember. Maybe yes.
Yeah, it was related to this somehow, and talking about his behavior about DMCAs and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and he won.
And then Thorn made a 7-hour stream to say why he is right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't watch it. I
And
have better things to do with 7 hours of my life.
and what does he do right now? He uses all the content from Jim Sterling. It's just the Jim Sterling content that he's showing there in the background. So all the videos
Yeah.
from Jim Sterling. So, oh boy. Okay, I'm at 22:34.
Again, and he's showing this badly made game with poor implementation of gameplay. Sorry for using word game.
Yeah, but well,
And saying with a straight face that Digital Homicide wasn't as bad as we demonizing them.
yeah, he kind.
Well, maybe not as bad as the behavior and not as bad as the developer.
Yeah, I don't want to defend him, but he is, I guess, showing Jim's videos being not representative about DigiHom games or something. I don't
You,
know.
as a person who played them, is that video ain't representative?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, for the quality of DigiHom, yeah, definitely. You have to be as delusional as Ethathon to believe that that is even close to a developer of a game. I mean, I have games that obviously want to be shit, and they are shit, but they're meant as a comedy of other games, and they work in that case. There's one game I just cannot remember the name of that. It takes like forever if I want to find it in the library. But they tell you everything on the store page, like, hey, there will be glitches, there will be that behavior, there might be that behavior, so buckle up. Don't get the game if you don't want that. And the voiceover is extra shit. Like, like seriously, if I would take the cheapest mic I have which is really shit, and would use that as the mic to record the professional voiceover for the game, and with all the background noise and whatnot. So you directly hear when you basically start the recording because it's shit, but in a way where it wants to be kinda mocking other games and stuff. But
Yeah,
that's
I get what you're talking about.
that's not what
Basically,
Digital Homicide did.
Digital Homicide didn't even try. Let's be honest.
No,
They just bought assets and throw them together.
Yeah, and they actually said, yeah, here you have a good game, you have this and this content, and they sold their games as better as they are because, well, they're shit.
Yeah, Digital Homicide didn't even hide that they making bad games. They told us that they making well, not us, to everyone, like that they making bad games. Specifically, they making cheap bad games, well, cheap games for poor regions.
Wait, let me see. Maybe I find that here real quick.
Yeah, okay. Basically, Digital Homicide guys from Digital Homicide were aware about the quality of their content. They didn't like that other people didn't like the quality of their content. I can't even actually call those flips a content, actually. Yeah, for Jim, this is those games were content. For you as a streamer, those games were a content. But as for content from Digital Homicide, I actually can hardly call that thing a content. Specifically Digital Homicide content. Because those games are asset flips. It's somebody else's content that they put together.
Yeah, exactly. And then they said,
Badly put together.
"Oh, we have hundreds of hours of code in there, and yeah, somebody, but not you."
Well, if they don't know how to do it, they could put hundreds of hours into it as well, just to do basic things.
I wanted to see. I do have a video somewhere from a charity event where I had to play this shit slaughtering grounds for 2 hours, and it's seriously just a loop. You play 3 levels and 2 of them are exactly the same, just with a bit of different shit. And I managed to see one of the biggest glitches I've ever seen in any game ever, and I played a shit ton of games. A plane, first you hear a plane every now and then, like flying over somewhere for no reason, because there is no reason for a plane. And I was like, I don't see a plane. And then in another loop that I had to go, because you just play for 10 minutes or something like that, then the level ends and you play another level. And that's the whole game, and then it starts with the first level. And you have the loop all the time. So that's burnt into my brain forever. And then I managed to see the plane.
You suffered for our sins.
The plane was flying through the level. I mean, through houses and mountains, and it was like, I don't know, 50 meters too low or something like that. It was basically on ground level. So they basically spawned the plane on the level plane, basically, of the level generator or the editor, and wherever that that neutral zero plane was, it was flying through with half of it, basically. And I was following it, and I was like, no, what? And my face was like, I don't believe what I'm seeing here. What the hell? And I have the whole part. It's hilarious.
Well, we basically can play it during the next part of the stream.
Yeah, I have to find it. I didn't find it. I think I have it on my external or something like that. Okay, let's continue a little bit more.
Yeah,
22:34.
same.
All right, and play.
On Steam. Otherwise, he would not have used them for this purpose. The fact that he used this screenshot as an example necessarily means he considers this example to be exemplary. Nah? Nah?
Yeah.
until
Why
I see
Jim
some
didn't
direct
pick
evidence
on
to the
Fat
contrary,
Fly?
I am going to treat these screenshots as
Hidden.
representative of Digital Homicide's behavior. Okay, some of you were thinking right now, but I personally remember having interactions with Digital Homicide as a paying customer, and I can recall him being truly just as
He had interaction as a paying customer.
He said he had no idea about all this drama or experienced that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but now he had personal contact because he was a customer.
And if he was a customer, basically he would have some sort of seen this type of things, like mostly negative and whatnot.
Yeah, and he should have played the games and know for himself how shit they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
What?
He doesn't make
I
a.
forgot about this line at all.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I remember that from watching it. That one time I watched it back then. I was sitting here like, what? And it gets even worse the further we go in the video. That's it's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically an easy mode right now.
Okay, 23:01.
010101, same-ish.
Alright, and play.
screenshots as representative of Digital Homicide's behavior. Okay, some of you were thinking right now, but I personally remember having interactions with Digital Homicide as a paying customer, and I can recall him being truly just as unprofessional as he was in his Review the Reviewer videos, despite me doing my level best not to throw the first punch at him. To that I say, can you please tell me exactly
Oh, it's a
what you
straw
said
man
to him
argument.
and
Okay.
exactly what he said in response? And when I say exactly what he said, I mean word for word, verbatim, what he said. That may sound like I'm just sea lioning right now, but I'm really not. In my past experience, I have learned that the slightest difference in semantics can often make all the difference in the world. Think about it. Jim Sterling is obviously so filled with hate and rage against Digital Homicide that this perfectly cordial screenshot was used by him as an example of quote-unquote unhinged delusional behavior.
It was an example of a
Clearly,
good behavior
Sterling's
from
mind
them.
was so
Yeah.
corrupted by rage and hate that he couldn't see what was literally right in front of him. So unless I know exactly, verbatim, what was said between the two of you, how do I know that your memories of what happened haven't been similarly tainted by rage and hate? So no, to make sure you aren't just overreacting to Digital Homicide's perfectly cordial behavior, I want to know the exact words that were said. And unless you have a preserved screenshot of your own, I highly doubt anyone's memory is good enough to remember the conversation with that level of detail. And if you do still have screenshots after all this time, I think it's more pathetic of you than it is.
Mm-hmm. If any,
So basically, he wants proof. But if you have proof, you're a pathetic loser.
yeah, and your proof is not worth anything. The funny part is, even the shit that comes up later, in our group, nothing was deleted. Everything in the group is still in the group. I think we deleted maybe one or...
We deleted several topics and several comments.
Yeah, but only if there were some like doxing bullshit or some crap like that. Mostly from a shitty developer going way over the top or so. But normally,
Or that one time when we almost got over the top.
yeah, but the most stuff is still there, even shit stuff. So
Yep.
and it's still there. So
Basically, we ain't perfect, and we're not hiding it.
yeah, nobody's perfect, but we can prove that we didn't act as a lynch mob or anything. It was, yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't dox at the end.
Nah, not really. We had one or two people who kind of went over the top without naming somebody, but I think you know who I mean. Some went a bit too far, maybe. But yeah, those were one or two people, and not the 1,000 plus or what we had back then. So
yeah, the problem is when I saying we doxed. I mean basically that we reacted too late to realize. Yes, we didn't allow doxing, but we was a bit too slow in the reaction that it was at preparation.
yeah. Oh well.
We would have been blamed for that anyway.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect and nobody can be around everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
I've been around a lot back then, but yeah, well. All right. 25:15.
Mm-hmm.
And you have it?
Yeah.
All right, and play.
Of the Remind brothers. So, now that I've hopefully demonstrated that Digital Homicides' decorum wasn't nearly as appalling as Sterling makes them out to be,
Nah, you didn't prove
why
anything.
don't we take a look at Jim Sterling's decorum, shall we? Because I find it rather amusing, in the most pathetic way imaginable, that Sterling is asking Valve to enforce professionalism standards among its game developers, while
Yo.
No, it's basically pathetic to demand from your partners act accordingly.
Yeah.
So basically, I can photograph my dick, put game on the Steam with $100 fee, and starting posting my dick at the forums and be like, come on, Valve can't enforce me to be ethical or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, I know that I'm exaggerating too much, but it's basically how I see it right now.
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't be because would be a indie developer, I shouldn't be held by ethical standards of the industry that I'm trying to be a part of.
yeah, I mean, isn't it normal that if you buy a Mercedes-Benz and then you give it to AMG for tuning, that AMG is using rusty bolts and stuff like that?
What, you want them to be held to some kind of standard, like there's some kind of production line?
Yeah, and I mean, would you expect high quality leather? No, not really. I mean, old leather with water dots on them and whatnot, and I mean, you pay extra for that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
why why should they have why should they have the standard of Mercedes-Benz if they're working for them in their name? I mean, they can just have
Definitely.
the
What a funny concept.
yeah, they can just have the quality standard of, I don't know, Lada or something like that, you know.
To be fair, Lada a lot better than it used to be in 90s.
Yeah, sure, yeah, but now it's I think it's owned.
It's still not Mercedes quality.
I think it's Renault now or something
It's
like that.
owned by Renault, but it's still Lada.
Yeah, sure. It's the same with the Romanian car, Dacia. Dacia, no matter if it's built from Skoda or whatnot, I just know that shit company from back in the day, and that's no. No.
Yeah.
No.
Who thought that industries hold by standards?
Yeah. I mean, some companies don't give much of a shit. Like, for example, if you compare the quality of production from a Tesla compared to a much cheaper BMW or Mercedes-Benz or so for half the price, the quality is like 10 times better. I saw a video from a guy who needed to.
Well, it has also, but bigger the cost as well.
Yeah, no, it's stuff like for example, here when you buy a car here, we as Germans would expect that the gap for the trunk, for example, on the left side is the same like on the right side, because, well, so it fits, you know. So and one dude needed to have his back window and his trunk removed or something and replaced. And on one side you could fit almost one finger into the gap, and on the other side you barely could place a cardboard in between. So it was like 70% on that side and 30% on the other side, or even less. Something that never would leave the garage here. Never. They would say, no, that goes back. No, you do that right, because if it doesn't fit, hey, it's water gets in because it's not close to right. No, that's shit. Tesla, oh, that's okay. It's US standard. No, we go with that. The same with with paint jobs. If you don't get a paint job in the United States from a tuner who makes extra paint jobs, you know, with several coats or so.
Paint jobs. Let me check if I can get it really quick. You can continue talking.
Yeah, okay. So one problem with old timers, for example, is always the paint jobs. If you if you check the quality of a paint job from the United States and compare that with a German paint job, even from a small company here, it's better than the big companies in the United States. You can check the thickness of the paint on a car, and that's here in Germany. It's one way to see if somebody had an accident and had to paint over something, and then you can directly see, oh, it's like 2 or 3 new thicker or thinner, and in the United States it might just be shit paint job. They just had one coat more on that side.
Yeah, man. Go here. I need to uncode those things. Uh-huh. Is it transparent?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, okay. So basically, God damn, give it to me. Those damn hooks. So basically, this is cheap Chinese hardware.
Mm-hmm.
It have bad painting, not so not so great for quality hooks, and well, basically, you can see that it's breathes with cheapness and whatnot.
Mm.
That's you dual hardcore painting made in much different quality, and I can just do that and it can do that and it won't take off.
Mm.
Hooks are much ow. Hooks are much better, and it's basically standards. Painting that can be damaged with the hooks
Mm.
really easily. And this thing,
Yeah, both work, but one is we have a saying here: buy cheap and you buy twice. And
yeah, we're saying that greedy man paying twice.
yeah, that's it's the same. I mean, with games, it's the same. If you pay like $60 for a game, you have different expectations that you would have if you pay like $20 or so. So
Yeah, and basically, when people paying $60 for a game, they expecting a good game.
yeah, exactly. Or 70.
That's why people more pissed when a $60 game is broken or bad.
Yeah, and then it gets removed like 3 or 4 months after it was released. Oh my god, I hope they get all refunds, because that's really a shit move. I mean, getting a game removed after a year if it's not running in the multiplayer title, okay, like Elysion or so, which came out around the time it came out a bit ahead of Lost Ark, and yeah, it was a grinder, an Asia grinder, and okay, but I don't know. I played it for a bit, but didn't return to it anymore. So that's gonna be closed as well, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, some just have different expectations or so. And I read a quote from somebody: I don't know what my expectations are until they're not met. It's so cool. I mean,
Good quote.
yeah, you just, well, I don't know. Let's see it, and then you see it, and you're like, nah, nah. It's better to have no expectations and be pleasantly surprised than having expectations and be pissed about afterwards.
Yeah. And I think we somehow
Yeah.
we used to talk about ethics. Well, okay. It's stupid argument. Let's say it like that.
Well, we continue next time at this point.
25 minutes.
Uh,
Oh boy.
yeah, that's just
25 minutes 40 seconds. And it just barely started.
yeah, we're not even halfway through. Oops.
1/3.
Yeah, and it's not getting any better from here on
No.
now.
Yeah.
And we have even more to talk about a bit later in the video, in the last third.
Yeah, specifically when
We're gonna be like,
to us.
we're gonna be like, pause, no, pause.
Yeah.
And I know. Oh boy.
Let me make a bookmark somewhere that we ended.
Yeah, I took a note,
Specific.
but yeah, do that.
Yes, same here.
do that because I didn't watch it in my actual account. I watched it in a incognito window.
Mm-hmm. Same. Well, I mean, I take the note as well.
Yeah, do that.
Next
Well,
time we should send a tweet that, hey, we're talking about you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, come by if you have to say something about it. If you dare, come by. And
Well, it might be a bit too early for him.
buckle
Well, not
up.
our problem.
Buckle up, baby. And behave, otherwise my ban button is really not far away. Well, okay, then that concludes part number 1 of X.
I hope it would be no more than 2. His video is so interesting to continue.
Yeah, and it's just gonna get better and better. What's with the freaking the break screen and everything is so slow. So weird.
Uh-huh.
Alright, well, yeah, next time we continue with this madness.
And when we finish with it, we will return to Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I think that's that. Cyberpunk, and we should also mention that 2K basically wants to destroy themselves.
Oh yeah, that as well. Well, I think we'll get to 2K when it already will be a retrospective.
Yeah, kinda. So, do you remember back in the day when there was a company called 2K and then they released a launcher and were like, ah, fuck it, we don't need our customers anymore? Alright, well, yeah, thanks for hanging out. And
Thanks for having me. And oh boy, this torture will continue.
yeah,
That we can promise.
definitely. Famous last words.
Fuck Epic.
Alright, Lotta, thanks for hanging out. You have a good night.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Alright, well, that concludes number 34 of the Digital Homicide stream podcast discussional stream thingy. And yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out with me. And oops, yeah, that's much longer than I actually expected. 2.5 hours, roughly. And we are at 25 minutes to that video. Okay, anyway. I have to do a few things, but I might come live again in a bit. So if you want to see that, well, hit that notification button so you know when that's gonna happen. And something else, I started a charity channel and there will be an event at the end of October eventually. So Shocktober Halloween charity event or something like that. I'm planning that at the moment. So yeah, if you want to know more, well, you will see, I guess. Alright, anyway, thanks for hanging out, and time's an appropriate greetings, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.